Hello and welcome to the Crochet Business School podcast, where you can use your crochet to build a business that will give you the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. How much does it cost to run a crochet business? Well, this is one of those questions where it really depends on what it is you're doing. A crochet business can cost hundreds of pounds a month to run, or it can cost very little. It all depends on what you're doing, what tools you're using, and what software you're running. But let's go back to basics. How much does the most basic crochet business cost to run? Well, at the most basic, it costs you nothing up front. If you're just using a Facebook page with a PayPal link, it's going to cost you nothing up front. The only fees you'll have to deal with are the PayPal fees once you sell. There's absolutely no cost up front to that. So, apart from the yarn you're using to create your products, there's no cost. And I very much hope you're getting payment up front before you start making, so then that yarn doesn't cost you anything up front either. But once you start wanting to make more profit, you're going to start need to adding tools. And these could be things that will help you schedule your posts, or the domain name so that you can start a newsletter. So I would definitely advise starting a newsletter. Newsletters are not only an insurance policy if the worst should happen and you lose your social media, it's also a great way of making sure that you are getting in front of your customers. It's more reliable than social media. Now, most newsletter providers, they let you start for free. I recommend MailerLite. That's the one I use. And MailerLite is free for your first 1,000 subscribers. And you can send a good number of newsletters a month on that free plan. The only cost is that you do need a domain name, because they will not let you send emails using an Outlook or Yahoo address. If it's a personal email, you cannot use it. This is because of spam laws. Using a personal email to send out mass emails is spammy, and you are more likely to end up in your customer's spam box, so they will never see your emails. So if any email provider lets you do that, don't take the option. There is no point writing an email if it's going to land in spam boxes. You need a professional email address. Now, a domain name is very cheap. You can get one for £15 a year. £15 for a whole year. It's peanuts. So get that domain name and you create the email address off that. And this also means that you are reserving the domain name for a website later on in your journey. So not a bad investment. Having a professional looking email address gives you credibility as well. So you've now got a Facebook page, you've got a PayPal account, and you've got an email. Those are very powerful tools. What other costs are there going to be? This really depends on where you go in creating recurring revenue. If you want to have a blog, then you'll need to pay for a website. Even if you create the website yourself and build it all by yourself, you still need to pay for the hosting, and there's that domain name again. You need it for the website. Now, hosting doesn't cost that much, considering how much money a website can make you. So a blog is hosted on your website. It's just a page where you put a post. Considering how much money that can make you, the hosting for a website is actually pretty cheap. and it can be less than £300 a year. Other tools that you might need include scheduling software. Now you can schedule all your social media using their native schedulers. Some of them are not that great. Now, for Facebook, I would definitely recommend using Meta Business Suite, and you can post to Instagram on there as well. For Pinterest, I highly recommend Tailwind. Pinterest does have its own native scheduler, but because the way Pinterest works, you have to schedule so many pins that the native one becomes, quite frankly, a headache and a half. I've tried it, failed miserably. Tailwind has been my saviour. Now, I get a lot of my traffic to my website from Pinterest. So for me, this is a great investment. Tailwind is not the cheapest of tools. It's £200 to £300 a year, depending on the type of plan you go for. So that one is optional, but you can also schedule Instagram posts on there. And it has a section where it shows your Instagram grid when people click your link in your bio. So they can go and click onto the post to find an individual link, which is a really nice feature, I have to say. Now, if I'm going to recommend any tool for you that is paid, it's going to be Canva Pro. If you are creating pins, if you're creating Facebook posts, if you're creating PDFs, if you're creating presentations, any of these on a regular basis, Canva Pro is an absolute godsend. You can do an awful lot with Canva on the free version. The Pro version, though, is amazing. You get tons of templates. You get tons more fonts to choose from. You get effects like background remover. You can resize everything. And, well, I'll never do without Canva Pro anymore. I mean, there's not a day go by where I'm not in Canva for some reason. And that's around £10 a month. I definitely get my money's worth out of that one. Now, of everything I've told you so far are things that I use myself. And as I'm sure you've guessed, the costs are rising. I don't have to have all these tools. I don't. I could make things work without them. Well, except for Canva and the domain name and the website hosting. Those are essentials for my business setup, but they might not be for yours. There are various ways that you can make things work for less cost. But here's the thing. If you do it for less cost, it's generally going to take you more time. For a lot of these tools, I am paying for it to take less time. My time is worth a lot of money to me. I don't have a huge amount of time to run my business, so I need to take shortcuts. And to take these shortcuts, I need tools to help me. So yes, I could use the Pinterest native scheduler to schedule all my posts. However, I don't have time to do that, so I pay for Tailwind to save me time. I could use other tools other than Canva to create all my images, but it's going to take me time to track down those tools and to use them and find the fonts and find the images. I pay for Canva for convenience. It's all in one place and it makes it easy. I can't get around needing a domain name for my email and for my website. Those are absolutely essential. So for certain things, you have essential costs. If you have a website, you have to pay for hosting. You have to pay for a domain name. If you have a podcast, you have to pay for hosting. But you don't have to have a website and you don't have to podcast. So what are you choosing to do? And what tools are you choosing to use that are going to save you time? These are the things that will cost you. But if you really can't afford them, you don't have to pay for them. You just have to accept that the time is not now to be doing these things. At the most basic level, your crochet business can be run for very low cost. All you need is a Facebook page, a business PayPal email, and a way to find customers. At the very basic level, all you got to do is pay the PayPal fees, which come out of what you charge, so you never pay anything up front. If you don't have the money right now, just use that. If you're ready to get to a wider customer base with less effort than a Facebook page, go for Etsy. There are more fees to pay with Etsy, but the only fee you pay up front is a listing fee. And it can be far more effective than a Facebook page if you take the time to use it. All these other costs are extras. You don't have to do them. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to pay for schedulers. You don't have to have a newsletter. You don't have to podcast. Build your business the way that you can afford to run it. Everything else can come later once you've started making money already. So I hope that's given you some things to think about and reassured you that you can do it your way and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. But if you are ready for some extra help, then come and check out the Hookers Academy, which is my membership where I help you discover how you can make money from your crochet to suit your lifestyle. And if that's a bit much right now, don't worry, I have a free Facebook group as well, the Crochet Seller Support Group. Check out the links in the show notes and come and join us. Thank you for listening, and I shall see you next time for the next episode. Bye for now.